Alright guys, today we're going to talk about the new Spider-Man game for ps4. Right, so this game, I'm going to keep it real. I've always been a person that's always thought that Spider-Man games were decent. They weren't the greatest, but they were trying, and they tried to make Spider-Man very athletic, and they tried to do a lot with the character in games. And I personally feel like a lot of people might go against this. My favourite one that I ever played was Spider-Man 3 on the Xbox 360. I didn't really play any after that, because the first one I played after that, I can't remember which one it was, didn't feel as good as 3. And I am actually a fan of QuickTime events. I know a lot of people aren't. I like QuickTime events because it helps add a level of cinematic. It helps add a level of, a cinematic nature to games. I was a big fan of it in Kingdom Hearts 2, which is basically my favourite video game ever. Big fan of it in all the God of War games. And I feel like I did really like it. I know there's a lot of people that kind of seem like they're boycotting it now. But back in my day, it was okay. Because the game in its other forms was okay without the QuickTime events. Also, the QuickTime events just add to like when you're finishing someone off a lot of the time, or when you're changing stage. So it wasn't so bad. Anyway, this new Spider-Man seems to have QuickTime events. Sorry guys, when you're doing those amazing feats, I don't mind that as long as they can happen more often. If you have an openness, for example, if you have a system in a game that allows you to create a QuickTime event using your own arsenal, yeah. So if you have a character who has an ability to, for example, let's take Spider-Man. This might not be in the game. This is just something I've always thought, right? I'm giving you gold right now. But yeah, so if we have a character like Spider-Man who has superhuman speed and sensors, right? If he's attacked by 5 characters, if in my opinion, let's say PlayStation controls, you hold R1, you could activate a QuickTime event which allows you to counter all 5 of those characters at one time using different button inputs. That's a QuickTime event that you've created, and Kingdom Hearts has always done that with its like trigger attacks on the Birth by Sleep series, and now it's probably going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. There's creative ways to do everything. It's not about, oh, it's got QuickTime events and such, but let's not talk about that anymore. But Spider-Man 3 was my favourite because I felt like Spider-Man in that game. And also you could shift between the dark and the normal Spider-Man, and the dark Spider-Man felt more powerful. And Spider-Man could run fast in this game. And Spider-Man had all these cool things he could do, and web slinging was really fun. End of the day, I really enjoyed it more than any other Spider-Man game I've ever played. And I could be wrong, there could be ones that have come out after that have been good. This new one looks like it's just crapping all over the one that I loved. It just looks incredible. It looks like Batman Arkham and Spider-Man 3 had a baby, and this is the game. Because even Spider-Man's design is different. They've done it right. They're not trying to bite off a movie. They're saying, yo, look, bum, we got a new Spider-Man. This is our Spider-Man. This is our universe. This isn't the universe you know. That's what you need to do with a game, because a game is not a comic book. If we're going to make a game about a character, then the game has to be its own thing. It can't just be, oh, this is a character from the comics, let's just copy the comics. No, you can't do that. Why? Because the comics are interpretations of a character by different writers. Yeah? There's big arcs. Like, for example, if we was going to make a Superman game, and I hope to God they do. I hope to God they do, right? And we'll talk about that in another video. But if we were going to make one, you can't just take every version of Superman you've ever read, because there's so many different versions of him. He's basically not the same character from comic to comic. Certain times he acts different, certain times he's angry, certain times his powers are lower, certain times he gets beat by scrubs, certain times he's so on point that he can't even be hit, certain times he beats Wonder Woman with one attack, certain times certain times in like big events he beats Mongol with one move. You can't, there's so many different versions. What Batman Arkham did, which seems like what this Spider-Man game's doing, they took the cool parts of Batman, key story arcs, and they gave him a consistent power basis to say, Batman is this guy. This is Batman. Yeah, he's an ultra shinobi, but if you can't get hit that many times, that's perfect. Now with Spider-Man, I'd give him a little bit more leeway with health, because he's more powerful than Batman. If we're talking about like physicality, if we're talking about his body, he can move like over 20 tons. He's superhumanly fast. He's, you know, his punch strength can break walls. So can Batman's, because Batman is, you know, more meta-human than people want to admit. And we'll talk about that in another video. But he can destroy walls and stuff easily. He can stop cars. He can lift cars. You know, Spider-Man's done so much. In Civil War, in the movie, we've seen him lift like a bridge from an airport and just hold it up. And this boy's serious. So what they're seeming like they've done in this game, and I'm sorry it took so long for me to get to the point, it seems like they have taken parts of the character from the comics, and then they've created their own version of him, and they're probably going to give him his best bits. Like in the Arkham series, Batman has all his best villains in this series, but they're not the exact same version from the comics. That's fine. That's what I want. I want Spider-Man to encounter these characters. And this is why I say Spider-Man 3, the game was good, because it was based on the movies, but it had all of his best villains in it. And I enjoyed fighting all those villains, and I enjoyed the quick time events, and I enjoyed seeing them in a new reinvented light. That's what I want. I want to see all Spider-Man's villains, because Spider-Man's got some of the coldest villains. Next to Batman, Spider-Man's got cold villains. No, like other than Batman, and maybe the Flash, because Flash has got good villains as well, but other than, fuck Flash at this point. Flash's villains are scrubs in comparison to Spider-Man. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're cool, but Spider-Man and Batman's villains are the best villains in comics to me. Yeah? To me, in terms of like their overall villains. Because right now, the game is it's looking so good that I don't even have a bad word to say about it. But then, and even this is in the absence of Goblin. This is without Goblin even being in it. And Goblin is Spider-Man's Joker. Imagine if Goblin's in the game. Imagine. He's probably not, but imagine if he's in the game. Because Kingpin's in the game. You got this Chinese Don, the Negative Man or something like that. He's in the game. He looked cold. Who else we got? I don't even know. But imagine if Goblin's in the game. Because there's going to be other characters in the game. Yeah? But I could be wrong. Let's be optimistic here. I could be wrong. It could just be completely story focused on the Negative Man, which to me would be a problem. But on the flip side, you get to be Spidey. You get to explore the city. You get to run through buildings. You get to save civilians in Spidey fashion. You get to be Peter Parker. But at the same time, imagine if Goblin's in it. Imagine if there's a Kingpin boss battle. Imagine if you see like Daredevil. There's so much possibilities with this game. You know, imagine if there's DLC and you get to be Venom. Imagine if Venom's in it. Mind blown. This game has the potential to be probably one of the best games that has ever come from Marvel. And damn right, because it's been in development for a while. For a while, me and my friends have been doing this chit chat talking about it. The fact that it's coming out this year is crazy. The fact that we're finally going to get our hands on it. I can't wait. I can't wait. That God of War, I just can't. It's crazy. And this is what I'm trying to say. So, when we're looking at it like that, there's so much potential for Marvel games. No disrespect to DC. Like, I'm a big DC fan. DC needs to figure out a way to get more of those like Batman type games made, but without Batman, with different characters, and say it's a shared universe, because that's what they should be doing. Yeah, the Batman games are crazy, but where's the Superman game? This Spider-Man game is gonna do a madness. It's gonna, because Spider-Man's already the hella most popular character. You know, yeah, but I think it's Batman and Superman are actually the most popular comic book characters, but Spider-Man will take the reins with this game because kids will be playing this game. That's what you gotta look at it. He's in his movies. Homecoming did really well. I didn't really like Homecoming. That's a video for another time, but Homecoming did really well. And when I say I didn't like it, I've rewatched it. I didn't hate it the second time I watched it, but the first time I watched it at the cinema, I was underwhelmed because I wanted more. Anyway, but this game doesn't look like it's underwhelming anyone. This game looks like it's on a different level. This game looks like it's gone Super Saiyan. It looks like Batman Arkham with Super Saiyan status. Because you've got freedom through city now. Like Arkham, you had freedom through city, It always seemed like it was nighttime. Well, it was always nighttime, my bad. There was no day and night cycle. It was nighttime all the time, yeah? This is all you... It seems like you got a day and night cycle, yeah? Which I'm hoping you have, because most games have now, yeah? Also, Spider-Man gets around the city a lot better than Batman does. Yeah, Batman glides. Spider-Man's web-slinging with powers. Spider-Man can dash through buildings in this game. Like, this game looks incredible. I can't wait. And as I said, when we're really looking at the landscape for games, DC, and this is a video for another time. I should have really, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But Marvel, this is gonna be a big game for you. This game is gonna really change the game in terms of what potential you have going forward. Because I can't see this game failing. Honestly, I can't. If it fails, I'll honestly be sad. Just like how I was sad when Justice League bombed. Like, I'll be touched if this game fails, because this game looks quality. It looks like it's on a different level to any previous entry in the series. And I feel like I've been watching a lot of videos recently about like games and about how much time they take and about developers taking care. Assassin's Creed Origins took 2 years to develop, I believe. Yeah? Maybe 3, but let's say 2, because they were releasing one annually. Look at the difference that made, that extra year. Spider-Man's been in development for a few years now. You know, a few years I've known about Spider-Man. I think it was supposed to be on PS3, to be honest with you. Or maybe it was, I think actually it was supposed to be a PS4 launch title. I'm not sure. But I remember on launch of the PS4 hearing about this game. I got my PS4 in 2013. It is now 2018. So, what I'm trying to say to you is, the Spider-Man game has been in development for a while. And you can see it. It's beautiful. It looks really good. And it just... Even this Negative Man villain I don't know nothing about. I want to play. I want to fight him. I want to... It's just it's hard, man. Because it's just such a... It just looks incredible, you know. And you know... In hindsight, I remember watching a documentary about games when I was a kid. When I was at school. And the guy in the documentary was saying the facts are games are just going to get better and better. And obviously, yeah, that's the truth. But when you're witnessing it happen yourself, when you're witnessing it happen right in front of your eyes, it's a different thing. And that's what's happening. They're just getting better and better and better, you know. I'm hoping this game's not too short. I'm hoping the DLC's fun. That's all I can say. Because I look forward to DLC when I buy games. Yeah, I look forward to playing the game out of the box, but I also look forward to DLC. Like, I felt like Batman should have offered some kind of Arkham Knight DLC. The last Batman. Where you play as the Arkham Knight and you do dirt and you go to, you know, you fight certain bosses. But no DLC. Now, let's admit the DLC was decent. You had Harley Quinn. I think we had Batgirl. There was a few DLCs that were good. But the game's called the Arkham Knight. Or you could have done a Red Hood DLC. They did do a Red Hood DLC, but it wasn't enough. You know, it should have been a real Red Hood DLC where you go in as Red Hood and you play like a lot of levels as him. Where you basically have a short story mode as him. Didn't happen. So, you know, it's a bit of a struggle. But I'm hoping Spider-Man's DLC lives up to what it should be. As far as I'm concerned, if I was going to make DLC for a game, it has to be at least like 10 hours to me. That's how I feel. Like, it has to be that much extra content. You know, with Horizon Zero Dawn, with I can't remember what it's called. It was the winter DLC. It was really good. It was a lot of hours of content. It was a whole immersive new story in a whole cold part of the environment. So, Spider-Man PS4, please do not disappoint me. You look incredible. This looks incredible. To all those people that are developing this game looks like something else. I cannot wait. It's gonna be something I'm locked into. This year's gonna be big for me because if God of War comes out, right, then Spider-Man comes out, then Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, then Final Fantasy 7 Remake comes out. What am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how's my daughter going to get raised if all these games are coming out? Like, how's she going to get raised? I don't know. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to keep it real. She's going to have to raise herself. Anyway, guys, I've been Fiji. This is what I'm thinking I feel. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, helps me get off the ground. I'll see you guys in the next one.